So I wanted to go over step by step exactly how to create your portfolio. We're going to take this one step at a time. So the first thing you want to do is open up Lightroom, find the image that you want to put into your portfolio, and then hit this little share button right here up at the top. And then you're going to want to hit large JPEG right there, and then you're going to just want to save it wherever you want to save it. So I'm going to save it right there on my desktop because that's where I save most things. And that's what you have to do for each one of your photos that you want to have in your portfolio. You just want to select it where it's highlighted and then export it using that button like you would do to get a link, but instead do JPEG large. And that's all there is to that part. Okay, so the second step is to create the InDesign document. And there's two ways you can do this. Now, I've gone ahead on week 10 and put in a digital portfolio example folder. Download that whole folder, and when you get that open the InDesign document, and you're going to see this portfolio here. I just started a few pages where I was just experimenting. I didn't want to do the whole thing, but I wanted to give you an idea of what you could do. So I went ahead and figured each page got each genre got a title page, and each genre had 2 images. So you got here for a total of 25 total images that you needed, or pages rather. And I just like using the Pages palette to navigate. So if you don't see that, you can go into Windows and go to Pages. And that way you can see all of the pages that I've set up here. So my thought was you could take this template, double click on or right click on where you see things have been set up, ungroup it. And you could literally take this and do place in your own images. Now, how do you place in your own images? You would select this bunny after you ungrouped it, and then you would right click, or you would just do Command D. And I'm going to try and find another image here. I think this is of Kitty. I'm going to place that in there. And so it's a lot bigger than that image was. So you can do 2 things. You can either do Command Option Shift and E to fill it proportionately, or you can right click on it, go to Fitting, and go to Fit Content Proportionately. So there it is. Now, the blue handles just mean that's how big my box is. When you double click on it one more time, you're going to see an orange outline. That's going to manipulate the image inside that blue box. So you just hit Shift and Command at the same time and pull on each side, making it fit the space and how you want it to fit. So that's what I would do. I would replace all the images, put them in there how I want. Now, the other thing you could do is, say you have some images that aren't vertical and they're horizontal in nature, like this one. Well, what do you do since all of these are portrait? Well, it's a little complicated, but it's easy enough to change. So I'm going to show you how to do that. You're going to go over here into this little button down here in the bottom right on the Pages palette, and you are going to select a different size. Doesn't matter what it is. I'm going to hit tabloid. So now that's changed page 7 to a tabloid size. We don't want that. We want it to be horizontal. So I'm going to hit custom. And I already have a preset in here, but because you probably won't, I'm going to show you how I do it. So 11 would be the width, and 8.5 would be the height. And I'm just going to name this horizontal 2. And I'm going to hit OK. And now you can see that that page has been changed. And because you've set that page up that way, you can now come here and just choose the page direction. You still have to, for some unknown reason, hit tabloid first, and then you can come back and hit the one that you've already set as a preset. So that's how you would change the orientation of the size. That's one way. So this is one way. The other way you could do it is forget my template and just go over to InDesign, go to New Document, do 8.5 by 11. You're going to need 25 pages, and you don't have to worry about a bleed or anything, and just hit Create and start placing in your content that way. So that's how I recommend you go about doing the second step. Okay, so once you've finished all of your pages, and believe me, I just want to add, I don't want to see anything that's Times New Roman on a white background. I believe we can be more sophisticated than that. You can use an image for your cover title sheet. You can use a background. If you've had me for Design One, I've shown you that trick about going to Unsplash and getting a cool looking background and creating something that way. If you don't know about that, pull me aside and ask me. I will gladly show you. But you can create your own titles, whether or not you can use your own fonts, you can use an image, you could use a graphic, but you just don't want it to be white with Times New Roman and it says Garden and Nature. You want to be a little bit more elevated than that. So come back here and say you are done. You've finished putting all these pages in. You've got all your artwork set. Then the next step is to publish it. And there's two things you can do. Now, number one, you can always turn this just like you do with your process books. You can go to Adobe PDF Presets, go to Press Quality, and export out a print version of this. And that file, when you save that PDF, that's what you can take to the print shop and have them print everything out for you all at one time. That's one way. And that's the way I would do it. Or you could print it from your printer at home if you wanted to. I have the paper, so come and ask me. And then for the digital copy, though, this is tricky because I'm not sure if this will work on the Macs in the MacLab. And if it doesn't, then you just need to submit your PDF and that's fine. But if you can hit the share button and you can do a publish online. And what this does is it gives you an opportunity to publish your whole portfolio as it is online and gives you a link. The benefits to this is if somebody's asking you, hey, I would really love to see some of your work because I'd like you to come shoot some photos for me, you have a link that you can now share with them via email and it's not a large file. So that's the benefit of sharing with the link. So you can choose to upload your PDF and then in the comments put in this share link is what I would do. And if you just want to see what it looks like, it reads just like a book and you can flip through it and see all of the images that you have in there. It's just a little bit more elevated, a little bit more sophisticated than sending a big, huge PDF file. That's pretty much it. I hope this is straightforward and I've answered most of your questions. InDesign is really easy. Again, if you want to place an image, it's Command D or Control D to get it in there. If you want to fix the size, you want to make sure you hit if you don't remember the key commands, you can always right click on the file itself and go to fitting, and fit is all of the different fitting options are here. You can try one of those. And as always, you can just ask me. I would gladly help clear up any issues that you may have. And that's it for this. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. You can text me at 843-267-2110, or you can email me at colleen.belzati@hgtc.edu, and I'd be glad to help.